Hey there, Sunday morning. And last week's video, after I admitted that I'm going to be narcissistically elevating myself above the average viewer, and you all being perfectly okay with that, I really didn't get any backlash about that. I talked about the workbench that I'm going to build next, and I talked about not needing anything fancy, right? And then I talked also about, if you want to get views on it, it has to look somewhat fancy. So I decided to go fancy. I took my original drawing that I drew up, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I made a few changes to it, but nothing major. It basically looks the same as what I showed last time. And I spent the rest of the week working on the plans, and that's what these are right here. Okay, I printed them off for the build. Okay, I'll be going from this, as I like to do. Okay, even though the plans are like kind of finalized, they're not, because I'll go through the build going from the plan, and if I find any mistakes, then I can upgrade, right, or update or correct the problems on the plan. Okay, so I got that ready to go. All I need to do is pick out the lumber that I'm going to be building the bench from. And the thing that I have the most, or the wood that I have the most of here right now, is a red oak. All right, and it's all basically right here. I got a little bit outside the shop on those racks that are still out there, but I used quite a bit of that actually. I actually used quite a bit of the stuff I had in here, and I moved that stuff in here to replace it. So I got to dig through this pile and find the stuff that I need. This is all cherry right here. Nice stuff. Here's a piece. Here's a piece of oak. Okay? So I'll put that over here. I can't bring myself to throw out pieces like this, these nice clean strips that were cut out of something to make a rabbit, right? So you got these nice even thickness strips, and you need to keep those. You just have to. So here's another piece of oak. More cherry, but a lot of sapwood in this one. Those ones are all cherry, by the way, they're not oak. So I could probably use cherry, although I don't have anything thick. Well, that's a problem. I bought the walnut here as the accent wood. And this will be the ends caps on the workbench and other parts, so gives a good bit of a contrast. But I could use cherry instead. But cherry is very close to coloration wise, like shade, darkness to red oak. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go walnut. Here's a nice piece of oak. Another chunk of oak right here. This is like 2¼ inches, 2½ inches thick. And that's mainly why I'm using the oak, because I have thicker pieces. Oh my God, this is heavy. Oh, this is heavy. This is oak, but I think it's too wide. I don't need anything wider than 5½ in total after it's planed down. So I may have to use that, but I'll leave it there for now. All right, so this is another piece of walnut. Nice big chunk. This is maple. Ah, nice piece. I don't know how much weight my table saw can actually take, so. I got a big piece of oak down here that's got to be at least 11 inches wide. 9.5 actually. But I don't know that I'm going to be using this one because I still have lots underneath this. So I'm just going to pull those out and then we'll take this up over there. Oh, it'd be great if I had a bigger shop. Anyway, so I got everything. I think I have enough picked out. All right, so very handily I made this cut diagram, even though it's kind of not, because I got to assume that anybody that's going to be building this workbench is going to be working from rough lumber, different lengths, getting what they can out of different pieces, very much like I'm doing right here. So, but the value of this kind of thing is that I can mark off the things as I find them in the actual lumber that I have here. Now, that may change as I go through. I mean, although you can clearly see what you're getting here with this stuff. And this was cut like 25, 30 years ago, stored in a very dry barn. There's no stress in this wood. I've already used some of it and it's, you know, behaved very well. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and, like I said, find the pieces that I need here in this stock. Like this one's 4.5. The one that I have standing up here is 7.5. I need, I have an advantage though. I don't need these stretchers that I have marked off here. These are for the freestanding bench version of the bench. My bench will have the toolbox inside, so I don't need these stretchers at all. The toolbox will be there. Understand? So I can cross those off. I can cross those off right away, and I'll do that. It's going to be a red oak and walnut workbench with a solid. It's I'm gonna talk in another video about how it's designed, but I'm not sure what's going to be on the top yet. That could be red oak, or it could be white oak. I got to go to my lumber place and see if they actually have white oak, because that's a little bit darker, maybe a little bit more contrast for the stuff I'm filming here in the shop. All right, and then white oak is not a wood that I use very often, and it's perfect for that kind of thing, you know, a bench top.